Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely little island of Fawnhollow today? Apparently I just ran out of breath when I was saying that sentence, which probably doesn't bode well for my lung capacity. Oh, I just had a flashback now to a biology lesson we had in GCSE where we were like, I'm not even sure what we're doing. It's I guess like human benchmarking, but you know, the physical attribute size, including lung capacity, was one of them. Or I can't remember what other things we did. You know, I have a think about it while Isabel's saying the thing, and then we'll get into that. Hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 3:29 PM on Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. It isn't news to speak of today, but listen to this. Crossword puzzle, something, yada yada yada. Sorry, Isabel. I don't mean to be so flippantly rude. But we got stuff to do, actually, that's a lie. She lied as easily as she breathed. I have nothing to do. But our usual business, our dailies, as you will. Dailies is perhaps a bit of a loaded term, I suppose, compared to it. I have a problems rambler. Yesterday I was thinking about ways I could boost my pop star profile, but I couldn't come up with anything. I mean, practicing dancing, learning, singing, whatever. None of it makes me famous, and now, soon to be famous, Audie. Audie, sometimes you got to put in that work to get that long time reward, you know? It takes years and years of solid, continuous practice to finally be able to even remotely feel the fruits of your labour. Sometimes you can just get lucky, to be honest. Hello, Kix, your visitor for today. Hello, Chum. Do we want to buy any of these things? Not particularly. Actually, this is okay. I don't think we've seen this before. The rest of them I think we've seen, but in different colours, so it's sort of like I don't know why Raymond's just casually standing. Oh yeah, what was I talking about? Sorry, no, really a sentence. I don't know why Raymond's just... Oh, he's doing yoga in front of her. You know, that's a bit disrespectful to kick, but what do I know? It's not click. That's a movie from 2006, I'm going to guess. Let me see if that's right. I haven't even watched it. They got like a TV remote where you can like rewind time or something. Click. Movie. How am I so good? 2006. Anyway, yeah, I've never even seen it. So yeah, hold on. Wait, we've got to do what we've done today before we move on too swiftly to that old biology lesson. Kicking Mambo, don't need it. So we'll close out this. Not much. Actually, it was mainly drawing today. You know, did the usual play games and then drawing. Didn't do any programming yet, which I'll probably be doing later. Maybe more drawing. I don't know. It's a bit of a busy drawing filled week, or will be. But I finished the Fez Fawnhallow, and the thing I was thinking actually while I was doing it, I was like, wow, I got like a lot faster at drawing because I did it in about 3.5 hours, and I was looking at it, I was like, this would have probably taken me like 6 hours or something, or twice as long, 3 times as long maybe when I first started out. And it makes me think now, like the Hollow Knight Hollow Knight Fawnhallow, like I remember it probably took me 10 plus hours, probably more, 12 hours maybe, to do when I initially drawed it. Now maybe if I drawed it, maybe it'd be super easy. Maybe not super easy, but maybe I could get it done in less than 4 hours. Which, you know, I think is probably more of a testament to being more confident in drawing, that sort of thing, you know, whatever. Probably stuff where it just means I'm better now, I suppose. Better now, living without you. I loved you. Oh, she only gave us 1 ticket. Wow, she really didn't like us, but how did we... Did you see that? We cancelled our shovel digging animation. How did we do that? Oh, wait, sorry. This is like the greatest new discovery I've seen in Animal Crossing for ages. How did I do that? I just mashed A. You can... That must be a bug. We found an Animal Crossing bug. Absolutely inconsequential one, but... we can fake out our digging. We need to get 10... If only you dig out a little tree sapling. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so about now it's done. It's all uploaded now. I haven't recorded for ages, so the backlog and a lot of these video games series are quite short right now, which I suppose is a good thing. Like Celeste's is only up until the end of this week, because that backlog's been sitting there. It's been like 3 weeks long for this entire time, so you know I thought I'd let it catch up. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the human benchmarking thing, my biology lesson. I'm trying to remember what else we did in it. I think I'm getting conflated between multiple biology lessons, but I'm not really sure. Sorry, I got extraordinarily sidetracked there. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, about biology. That's okay. Well, we'll start with the only one I can remember. It was a lung capacity one, where basically we had this. I don't know. I was going to call it a breathalyzer. It's very much obviously not a breathalyzer because it's not there to measure your alcohol content within your breath, I guess. It was something where you just sort of like inhale as much as you can. I probably should have inhaled when I tried to speak. And then you just like breathe out all your entire lung capacity into this little thing, and like it spins around a little arrow, I suppose, on a meter. Now I think about it, it's probably something for like asthmatics or something to test their lung capacity, right? Or lung strength. Because I feel like a pitfall seed. We finally learnt a pitfall seed. Are you kidding me? This is. I've waited so long for this just because it's kind of fun. It's a bit late now because we don't really need it anymore. We don't really. But I wanted to prank Ali with that so long ago when he played Animal Crossing. But instead it took us 400 days to get a recipe, but we got it now, you know. Or always look on the bright side of life. Okay, we need to. Oh, we actually do need to dig up fossils. Didn't realise that was one of our missions for today. Yeah, I don't remember what mine was. I feel like it was in. I don't remember what the units were, but I think mine was like 3,600. Was it somewhere around there? It wasn't the high sim class. High sim class. Shout out to Sophia, who had like a 5,800 or something absurd like that, which we've no idea why. You know, some people are just born with it. Some people are just born with larger lung capacity than whatever, than whoever. Which is, you know, I suppose to their benefit if it comes to aerobic respiration. I'm not really sure. Is that how it works? I know there's a fossil around here somewhere. I just can't remember exactly where it is. But my subconscious brain picked up on it when I ran past it. Hold on a minute. Where did this red bum come from? It was hidden this entire time. Yeah, here it is. No, that's a flower. She's just born with it. Born with them big lugs. I did not mean to call her a lug. That's very, very rude. Which I can't remember. We just like guessed maybe because she played a saxophone, she had big lungs. But that seems more not really like a correlation causation. Like I'm sure you can train your lungs to be larger somewhat, isn't it? You can like train yourself to hold your breath for longer, but I thought that was not to do with like increasing your lung capacity, although I'm sure it probably does to a certain extent. I thought that was more to do with technique and being able to slow your heart rate down to minimize the amount of oxygen you needed. But maybe both are possible, you know, but it's not like those are mutually exclusive things. So anyways, so congrats to her back in year 8, year 9, and I honestly don't remember. So I'm just giving a glance over to some stuff going on over here on my second monitor every now and then. Not very interesting, mind you. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Just something I need to keep an eye on every now and then. What was I talking about? Yeah, I feel like we must have done other things. Like, we must have done, like, reaction time or something. As a... Like, I'm trying to even think what that lesson was meant to teach us. Because it must have been some sort of human benchmark, like, I don't know. See how different we all are. We probably measured ourselves in different aspects, and that's the only one I remember lung capacity. But I remember we had a different one I talked about. I think I talked about was in like a fight or flight. Is that an episode title? I talked about like fight or flight before, and I talked about this one biology lesson I had where basically it was all about sort of reactions. You're moving away? No, not allowed, Amelia. What? You can't go? Maybe this is why I was like, oh, no one's moving out for ages. There's always the people I don't want to move out. Not yet, at least, Amelia. I'm sorry to say. I'm sure maybe my tune will change another year down the line or something. No, what was my point? A human benchmark. Yeah, we had like a fight or flight thing going on where we tested things like... I think that was the one where we tested our human reactions. It was with the same teacher as well, now I think about it. Might have been even in the same year, probably the same module. And we tested things like how sensitive we were to feeling things. Like we had 2 needles were like half a centimeter apart, not needles, like the tops of pins, and we like put them on your fingertips and the person had to guess while we're blindfolded if it was 1 or 2 pinpricks, and we did it over different parts of our body, and it was like, oh yeah, you have like low density of nerves on your back, so it's quite hard to tell two pinpricks and 1 pinprick from each other. I should stop calling it a pinprick. We weren't like stabbing each other with needles or anything. It was just like I guess like imagine like prodding a pencil into someone. That's kind of what it was like. 1 or 2. 1 pencil or 2. Sorry. We should catch some fish as well. And then we did another. Oh yeah, that was a memory one. I remember that episode. What? That lesson now. Oh my god, I just called it. Wait, what insect was that? I didn't even pay attention. Paper kite butterfly. We can do that if we see one. Let's catch some fish. Yeah, that was a memory one. I remember that. Where it was like one of the tasks we had to do to like human benchmark ourselves was test our memory, and she read out like a story about a squirrel. And then we had to basically listen to it, and then after it she's like, okay, now write down that story again, and based on how many words you got correct, you got a mark. And I think it was like 50 of them, and I got like 38 or something, which was the highest in the class by a magnitude of like 4. So I'm just telling you, my audio memory is great. And that was because I used a very fancy thing, which I now know is called a memory palace, to memorize it. Actually, it wasn't quite a memory palace. It was more like I visualized the story. So it was like a pseudo memory palace, but not quite a memory palace. I don't think I could construct a memory palace that quickly, but maybe I could. Never tried. Or some bit about our practice of trying to do that sort of thing, so maybe not. But yeah, anyway, the story, let's see if I can remember. It was like on a Saturday morning. It was early on a Saturday morning, and the sun was shining through the window. A train went by on the rickety rails. An old train went by, I think, on the rickety rails. A squirrel was standing on the train tracks. And as the train approached, it dived out the way onto the side. It ran down the hill, and then this part where I can't even remember. Down the lake, through the leaves, and jumped off, and grabbed onto a swinging bough of a tree. It landed safely on the other side, and it tucked away, and then I very much can't remember how it ends, but they end up inside their tree, and I think they have an acorn or something like that. But that was the premise of a story that, might not be quite so accurate. I think it says wonders, the fact I still remember the story to the day. But yeah, this human benchmarking thing isn't it interesting? But the reason I'm calling it human benchmarking, by the way, is in case you're like, this is a very cursed way to describe things. What was I doing? I was catching fish. I forgot. It's because there's a website called Human Benchmarking where you can do all these sorts of tests, like test your reaction, test your memory, test your other things that you would benchmark a human on, which is obviously it's just meant to be a joke, because benchmarking, often, well, actually, I'm not sure where it originates from, but I only know it in terms of computer software or any sort of hardware software, and benchmarking will be just seeing how well it performs, I suppose, under circumstances. Basically just sort of like a quantifier of its power, or something of that ilk. But I guess it's for a human one this time, so you can see how fast your reactions are, how good your memory is, how good your pattern recognition is, probably something like that, I don't know. But I'm trying to remember this lung capacity one. I don't know why we did that, but it must have been a physical one. We must have done some other things as well, tested some other things during that time, but I cannot remember. Oh, now I think about it, that was definitely a different year, because there were different people in the class. But the lung capacity one was definitely year 8, now I think about it, and then the other one must have been GCSE. Now I think about who was in the class with us. Let's think, the lung capacity one, we must have done something else as well. I would ask my friends, but they probably don't even remember this one in the first place. But I do remember that in a physics, oh, we actually need this fish, I think. A physics lesson, we need to catch one more fish. Not later on, but like, in a different, maybe the same year? I can't remember if it was A-level or GCSE we did it in, but we were learning about pressure, basically, and the standard way you learn about pressure is by using this giant, like, not YouTube, not like the website. Yeah, you just watch YouTube videos, that's how the teacher teaches you. No, it's this U-shaped tube, I suppose, with liquid in. And then if you put pressure on one side, the other side goes up because of the increased air pressure, and then, like, you can do something like, there's a formula for it, like, the height difference times the density of a liquid times the gravitational pull of the earth equals something. I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe I can sit here and figure out what that'd be. Okay. Sorry, another slight pause. But you'll be happy to know that I've got some white grapes now. But I'll save you the ASMR of me having a mukbang on camera. Well, not really on camera, but annoying you with my, well, rather annoying eating sounds, I suppose. Let us... I basically just want the customization. What should I call it? Nook permission to appear. What was I talking about? I was talking about the YouTube thing, wasn't I? Not the website, the pressure thing. It must have been pressure. Hold on. Wait. What? Oh yeah, I was gonna work it out. Okay, so it was, I'm pretty sure it was rho GH, which is density times gravitational field strength plus height difference. It must be the pressure differential. You know what? I just remembered. It's called a YouTube manometer. I don't know how that suddenly just came to me, but there you go. You go Wikipedia it yourself. Okay, let's think. Rho times G times H. Standard units. Okay, what's rho? Density. That's kilograms over meters cubed times gravitational pull, which is acceleration, which is meters times over seconds squared. So now we got, what do we have? Kilograms over, oh my god, kilograms over meters squared times seconds squared times height. Kilograms over kilograms per meter second squared. What? That's not pressure, is it? Pressure equals force over area. Force equals what's force? What's newtons? Force is kilograms times acceleration, isn't it? Oh, yeah, so it is area. Okay, so I think I did that right in my head. Oh my god, I have no idea. I'm a little bit out of practice, as you can tell. Let us put some flowers down and sell some things. Why don't we? So anyway, the whole point is we're using a YouTube manometer. Or manometer? Manometer. I don't actually know how you say it now I think about it. To measure pressure, because basically it's a giant tube with water in. Then if you open both the tops, then the water's level, because it's both tubes are at atmospheric pressure. But then if you seal one end and leave one end open, with that sealed end you can change the pressure in it, and then you can figure out whatever the pressure is. So if you like attach it to like a vacuum or something, and then like slowly like decrease the amount of air in the vacuum, or not vacuum, it's something that can create a vacuum. Okay, if you're going to be technical about it, alright. Then you'll end up with a way to measure the pressure in whatever that is at the current time. So the thing we did is we had a tube, and basically we basically blew as hard as we could into that side of a YouTube manometer. And then we depending on how high it goes, you can see how much stronger your air pressure breath is compared to spend bells to buy items. Paper kite, talk to neighbours, create a memory. Compared to atmospheric pressure. So, you know, because it's directly linearly proportional to height. The height difference, it's linearly proportional. Your breath pressure, the pressure I guess you can create from your lungs or whatever, is proportional directly to the height, which is nice. So we did that, I remember. And you're speaking to the champion of that set whatever set we were in. Set 3? Yeah. Well, that's not third best set, by the way. Well, our set 1 to 4 were all the higher set. And sets 5 to 8 were all the lower set. Not that there's anything wrong with that, to be honest. Champion of lung air pressure, I suppose. I can exhale from my lungs much better than anyone else, including Sophia, who was in our set at that time. That must have been year 8 now I think about it. Sophia wasn't in my set in GCSE, I think. Do I brag about that often? No, in fact, I actually kind of didn't really think about it until now, but I hold it as a point of pride. My exceptional lung blowing capacity. No, not capacity. Pressure, I suppose. Strength. Watch me blow out the candles on my birthday cake in one fell swoop. Be amazed at the fact that I don't know what else to use. Can blow dust off my desk with relative ease. Watch on in awe as my pinwheel spins even faster than yours, but not for as long. Okay, I mean, obviously, it's got rather limited use, strong breaths. It's not even like a superpower level, so what's even the point, you know? Why have it at all? But there we go. There's all the human benchmarks I can think of off the top of my head. There might be more, I don't know. Why don't we take it off and then put it back on for the wardrobe achievement? Yeah, anyway, this all pales in comparison. Oh, I shouldn't have done this one, because this one I remember took... Oh, never mind. So long to find it last time. That time it was just easy. Those human benchmark things. Did I finish talking about the fight or flight one? We had a few others. Like, tests we did on that day, I think. We had a reaction one. We had another one where she, like, basically showed us a jump scare at the end. Unfortunately, for our teacher, it was from an advert. It's from like a video I already seen on YouTube, where so I knew there was a jump scare coming, so I sort of anticipated it. So I managed to dead face stare at it as it happened. There's something else. We had another memory one where it was just like remembering numbers. We had another memory one where it was like, oh, I remember this one because this is me, my classic me. I'm learning random stuff from YouTube videos I learned about before, which I had a lesson on it. It was about like memory by association or whatever, where basically she read out a list of like 20 or so items, and they're all like furniture items. I didn't need to pick that up. And then she was like, alright, write them down now. See how many of them you can remember. And, you know, and then you mark it, and then she says, if anyone put down window, give it a big X, because I did not say window. And it was like, oh, everyone's like, whoa, what? How can this be? She read out 20 furniture items, but not one of them was window. But your brain was just like, oh, these are all furniture items. When you're writing them down later, you're just like, oh, she probably said window. That seems like such an obvious one for her to put down. But she didn't. And that was a thing I learned about, because I guess, I don't know, when I was younger, I liked looking up YouTube videos about this sort of thing. About the human mind, I guess. Yeah, I looked it up. I knew about it beforehand, so while she was reading them out, I was like, okay, I'm going to pay special attention to an obvious thing that she's not going to say, but will be in the list. And I was like, she didn't say window, that's probably it. Bear in mind, I was so distracted by that, I don't think I even remembered a lot of the other ones, so... Still probably a decent amount. I bet, I don't remember how I remembered, I bet I remembered 12. Because when you prep yourself to remember things like that, it's a lot easier than just randomly doing it. Not to brag or anything. No, I kid. Wow, deep sea creatures, not doing that. Why is it paper kite butterflies? Paper kite butterflies might only be after 4 PM, now I think about it. And it's only just turned 4 PM, so, you know, perfect timing. What was I gonna say? I'm trying to remember what else we did with Human Benchmark. But no, Human Benchmark's a cool website. I'm gonna open it up right now. I'm not gonna do it right now, obviously, because you can't see what I'm doing. That'd be a strange thing to put in the end of an Animal Crossing episode, but you know, that might just be what we turn to. Let's see what, I just want to see what tests are. So reaction time, that's the standard one. You've probably seen this one. This is like the standard reaction test, which I feel like people do. I just wanted to check if the fish we have are the ones we actually do need. So yes, we do actually need those 2 fish. We have too much money right now, so we need to deposit some, and we also need to put this black flowers away. Sequence memory. Remember increasingly long pattern or button presses. Aim tray. Maybe this could be like a fun joke. Let's play to do at some point. Increasingly long pattern or button presses. Interesting. Aim trainer. How quickly can you hit all the targets? That's just OSU practice. Number memory. Remember the longest number you can. I remember I did that one a few times. I feel like I was okay at that. Verbal memory. That one I really liked. I don't remember why, but it's really hard to do that a second time. Like, because with reaction time, you know, once you do it, you're like, oh, I'm going to try and beat that score and do it again. With a word, verbal memory, it's really hard because you're like, oh, I don't know, was this a word that came up the first time I did this, or the second time, or the third time? I mean, it all gets confused in your mind. You're like, ah. So the first time's often the best. Chimp test. Are you smarter than a chimpanzee? That's the one where it's like it shows all the numbers, and then you click again, and then it hides them, and you have to tap them in order, if I remember. Okay, what do we... storage and put stuff away. Save it away for a rainy day. Visual memory. Increasingly large border squares. I don't really remember that one. Oh no, I do remember that one. It's like an n by n grid of squares, and some of them black, some of them white, and you just have to memorize a pattern. Typing. How many words can you type per minute? I know my typing speed is around 90 words per minute. It's not like outrageously fast, but it's still pretty decent. Not gonna lie. Nothing to brag about, but still markedly above the human average, considering probably a huge number of a population of either never interacted with a keyboard or very rarely interacted with a keyboard. And I don't mean the piano kind. I especially don't mean the large piano kind that you might find in the movie Big, starring, I don't know, Tom Hanks. No, that doesn't sound right. And it must be Adam Sandler, now I think about it. Let's see. Big movie. Oh, it's Tom Hanks. Never mind. I've never seen this movie, by the way. I just know about it vaguely in some roundabout fashion. Yeah, we'll put this stuff away then. I don't know, I guess we'll try and do a bit more of a Nook Mile grinding. That's what we're really saving up for. We're saving up for that Animal Crossing gacha. We're waiting for our limited banner, that 400 drop, where she's on the limited banner. And then we'll use all our pulls to get her, and if we don't get her, we'll cry. And then we'll bust out the wallet, and we'll drop in a casual £10,000 on this game. No, obviously not going to happen. Also, not even possible. Oh, I'm sorry, I really want a grape. But just in a bowl next to me. They're like very appetizing. I gotta say, these are really sour. Well, compared to your usual grapes. These are like the green grapes or white grapes or whatever you want to call them. I gotta say, they're far less superior than red/purple/black grapes or whatever you want to call them. Gotta say, I gotta give a shout out to those red/purple/black grapes. I don't know what the actual term is. I assume it's red and white because it's like the wines, but because it's based off like the colour of their flesh, isn't it, rather than skin. So despite them looking green, they're actually white, or called white, I should say. I know that's not really important. Red grapes are far superior. We're gonna look around maybe for a paper kite butterfly. I don't think we're gonna find one, so we should probably just do the selling one. How much do we need to sell? 5,000. It's gonna be a bit difficult now that we don't have anything to sell anymore. We can catch some fish. We'll catch some fish. I think we can catch 5 fish in 3 minutes. Don't you think? That just seems like fishing 20 hours. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, human benchmark. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a human benchmark, just like a random one-off episode, or a couple-off episode, to see what my human benchmark skills are. See, the problem is that discourages me from doing these one-off episodes. Is I want to make like custom thumbnail arts for them, but that's an investment. Doing these thumbnail arts, like even the first one, which was done rather quickly, is still like a 3-hour investment, 4-hour investment, no, 3.5-hour investment. I can't remember. Which I can spare, but it's like, is it worth it in the end for one episode? No, not really. Even Kukiyomi, you got to do it proportionally, Kukiyomi, maybe that'll be the baseline. 30 minutes for 4 episodes. That's a rate of about 8 episodes an hour. So, hopefully with Fez, I get at least 28 episodes from it. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Hollow Knight, definitely. Actually, Hollow Knight only just got its money's worth, didn't it? About 100. Actually, didn't Hollow Knight end on episode 99? It's so sad it didn't make it to episode 100. Or maybe it ended on 98? I can't remember, somewhere around there. Was that worth like 12 plus hours I probably spent on it? 12 is probably a bit too high. It was probably around 8, so yeah, it probably was. That's the standard we're now working with. 8 per hour on thumbnail art. So I guess I could do it, as long as I spend less than 1/8 of an hour working on it. Which is, how much is that? 60 divided by 8. That's a weird number. 7.5 minutes. I don't think I could do a thumbnail art in 7.5 minutes, I'll be honest. Well, it could, maybe. But even Kukiyomi's wasn't. Well, Kukiyomi's took a long time because I was screwing up the drawing for so long. Is that 5? Must be 1 more. And we'll sell them if we got the time. So yeah, no, check out the human benchmark. See how well you compare to humans, I guess. I don't really know where I was going with that sentence. Benchmark yourself against a population. See your memory. Are you smarter than a chimpanzee? That sort of thing. That sounds pretty amusing to do. Oh, Nook Mile. Okay, we should do that one. Also, we should probably talk to our buddy Raymond, who's been thinking here. You got in a prank call with Lily. Okay, well, I guess this episode will run on a bit longer as we go deliver this thing to Lily, who is, I believe, in her home. One of these days I'm going to open these presents just to get different dialogue options. But for now, we'll get this Nook Mile ticket. Okay, what other human benchmark things? I'm struggling to remember this biology lesson all that well. Why were we just randomly doing lung capacity? Like, surely that's not all we did for 1 hour. It doesn't take that long to huff and puff and blow the house down into a lung capacity measurer or whatever. We must have done something else, but I really can't remember. My only guess would be reaction time or maybe strength. I remember, sorry, I guess this is not all that related, but we had a physics lesson one where our teacher set up like a load of mini like gadget experiment things around the classroom or whatever, and we're meant to do them. Just like interact with them. One of them was like a little like hand crank, which if you spin it up, illuminates a light bulb, and if you spin it faster, it illuminates a light bulb brighter because, you know, it's generating more power. It's like a little generator. And I remember I got around to it, and we were all like taking turns being like, okay, let's spin it as fast as possible. And I was like, ugh. And I actually like lit it up pretty bright, and they were like, oh dear, do it again, you know. You're lighting it up so bright. I bet you can get it even brighter. And you're like, I was like, right. And I focused, and I went, and I broke the generator, the mini generator crank. And I was like, luckily the teacher was had to see it, so he knew it was like not on purpose. He was like, sorry class, no one else can interact with this experiment now because dear broke the experiment. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But it was quite funny. Is that a human benchmark? I suppose so, in the vaguest way possible. But, you know, I'm grasping at straws here. I didn't expect this this episode to go on to 31 minutes, but here we still are. But we had to make a delivery to Raymond. Oh, sorry, to Lily. A dragon suit? What the heck's a dragon suit? Like a dragon bodysuit? Oh. Sure, why not? If you're ever worried about them wearing these clothes, I believe I've heard you can just give them just a huge amount of other clothes, and then eventually they'll stop wearing the ones that which don't match their style and fashion. So if I just flood Lily with other cute yellow and... Oh, actually, that one's yellow, but she might keep wearing that. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's actually true or not. Nor does it really matter. I like to see my Animal Crossing villagers in very strange clothing. Out of character clothing, you know? Raymond Bear with his sleeved apron. I'm trying to think of what other funny ones there are. I don't know. But it's a wonderment, isn't it? Like, where you land on the human benchmark scale. It's like, oh, you ever think about that? Like, where do I compare to the average human in X, Y, Z? You can get some sort of idea based on the people you hang out with, but, you know, there's only so much you can get from without a website cumulatively acquiring tons of data on loads of different individuals. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much for spending Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Deardarling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, all greatly appreciated. Links down below. I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.